friends, welcome back to another stunning episode of the Film Alchemist podcast, the show where we take the movies we love, break them apart, to find out what gives them their magic. I'm your host, Josh Griffey, joined as always by my friend, co-host, and number 6.
Alex Tandino.
I named my co-host now as I cuts him up for experimenting. All right, before today's just shocking thrill ride of an episode, a little bit of business, people. It's official. Your friends here at the Film Alchemist, we're on Patreon. That's right, patreon.com/Film Alchemist Pod. It's the best way to support the show. It's the best way to make the show exactly what you want it to be. Guys, you can join our Patreon for as little as $1 a month and meet the community, see what we're growing over there. And if you can, as you climb the official Highlander tier ranking systems, you can specifically select the movies you want to hear us talk about in our Patreon exclusive library. We got a lot of fun stuff we're doing over there. Always working on ideas for more content, short series. You get a vote on our 2 Patreon exclusive episodes every month. So a lot of good stuff over there. We work real hard to try to make it worth your time and money. So again, that's patreon.com/Film Alchemist Pod.
Yep.
Thank you for everyone who supports us, and thank you for those of you who are about to. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube. That's Film Alchemist. See our faces, you lucky devils. Email us, filmalchemistpod@gmail.com. Find us on all the social on. We're easy to get a hold of, and we love to hear from you. 1000001 100. And anyways, neither here nor there. Speaking of algorithmic overlords, leave a rating and review. Help us crush these algorithmic, goddamn, psychic monkeys that be taking us down, kneecapping us, climbing into our attics.
We definitely
5
did
stars,
it to ourselves, but sure.
Yeah, a couple sentences about why you like the show helps us find more people, and there's safety in numbers, as we learned from Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds and this movie tonight. Without further ado, guys, it's enough business. Let's put business aside. When we were kids, we talked business. When we were grown-ups, we talked about silly stuff. Like face sits and monkey shines. That's right. So here we are, coming to an end of our Animals Attack the Pod anniversary curation.
It was a great month, man.
I have loved this so much.
This was really good.
It actually reminded me of how excited we were starting the pod.
Yeah.
And of all the curations, why we picked Animal Attacks, because we just love these movies. They're fucking fun and amazing. So we've had a great run, so I hope you guys have enjoyed all that. We've had some also great movies on our Patreon, patreon.com/Film Alchemist. I'll never stop getting you.
So much business.
But today, we talk about George Romero's Monkey Shine. Now, this movie was a very interesting one to find as a young lad. This is one of those classic. This had one of the greatest VHS box covers.
It really did.
In the horror movie section, right? It was one of those like dink, 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 like the
Always
wind-up
curious.
symbol monkeys.
Always curious.
Evil looking, right? So you saw that and you're like, holy shit. I don't know if this is Chucky-like.
How about that?
I don't know if this
fucking,
is demons.
That fucking poem on the front cover, too. That was on there, too. That's
poem?
on the poster. Yeah, there's like a little poem on the poster. It was on the cover, too. On the VHS cover.
I just remember the satanic fucking monkey. Because it kind of looks like the Child's Play 2 cover, right?
Yeah. No, it's a garbage cover. It's a garbage poem, but it's an awesome cover.
I mean, after watching the movie, it doesn't seem to be really steeped in a literary tradition.
I'm saying it. Well, oddly, you would say that it certainly is steeped in literature of some kind. But
anywho, amazing box art, right? So I was like, I got to see this fucking movie. What I managed to try to suss out as an 11-year-old child is a tale of body horror, trapped in your own body.
Sure.
Monkeys trained to help out the disabled. Scientists who can inject themselves with some kind of brain shavings to not go to sleep.
Yeah.
Injecting
you just need shavings, by the way.
Face sits, psychotic monkey vision. A mom that just made me desperately uncomfortable. This was just a baffling array of fist punching my brain, and not at all the movie I expected. But a memorable one indeed. Alex, first thoughts on Monkey Shine. It's just a fun title to say. I made my 7-year-old watch this today, and every time the monkey did anything, he went, Monkey Shine. So now I have that to look forward to.
Hunter, you're the best.
It was great.
Yeah, Monkey Shines is an experiment in fear, for those of you who don't know.
An experiment in fear. An experiment of really throwing words around. More like.
Yeah, it's a weird... Again, like... So it's 1988. This is like this. It's one of those amazing movies that just like doesn't really function in reality of actual science. Like even like the pseudoscience of like a movie like Altered States still has some basis in reality somewhere. This is literally like this doctor is like doing cocaine shavings into a vial. Like
if I put the brains in a syringe and inject it in a monkey's ass, they'll get smart. I know.
If I freeze dry brains and take some shavings of it, like it's. I mean, again, that was like one of my favorite scenes in the movies. I'm just like, that's just pure poppycock. But overall, the movie is so. I mean, very funny. Like so entertaining in a lot of ways. Like unintentionally funny in some ways, but then. There is this sort of locked-in thing that is very scary. That is the body horror aspect. Like, that is terrifying. Again, it kind of gets shot to hell pretty much immediately. Like, here's the thing. If you're running around with a backpack full of bricks, I feel less bad for you somehow.
Yeah. There was a spinal trauma in his future.
Yeah, it was going to happen anyways.
One way or another, yeah. Just that aggressive, hard yoga twisting, too. I was like, that guy's going to slip a disc.
Yeah, for sure.
Just like hard butt-naked yoga. Just like his taint on that really low thread count carpet. I was very worried.
Yeah, absolutely. He was fully going to just like break himself in half anyways.
Yeah.
So, again, the opener to this movie, too, is so like... It starts the way a lot... I think this is because Romero... Like, there's a lot of like... things in this movie that don't work for people who are not understanding like George Romero, but also just like the genre. Like my wife watched this with me, and the whole time she was just like, I actually took video of it because I was just like, I have to remember some of the things she said. And the one thing she mentioned that she could not get over was like, who dressed this mother? Like, have they ever seen mothers ever? Is she just given up? And I'm like, yes, that is the whole point of the movie. Like.
I have to say, the most shocking thing about Monkey Shine now in my mind is that of all the fucking things this movie's throwing at Andrea, she picked out the fashion. That is,
I mean, that's pretty
baffling.
That's my wife to a T. Like,
I mean, it is her profession, but
she would.
So yeah, we get a hard brick running intro.
Hilarious.
Dog lunges out. He gets hit by a dump truck, right? You know this movie's going in a weird direction, right? Not only do they just do that pirouette shot, like he's floating. It reminded me of the girls on trampoline shot at the end of the Man Show when we were kids. That was like, holy crap. Like every kid at school is like, did you see that? And you're like, what? What is this thing? I'm a boy, not a man. Neither here nor there. They go into surgery, right? And Stanley Tucci's just coming in. You're like, holy shit, look at the cast
the Tucci is coming in just with the swagger.
And he just comes in and he's like, his ass is hairier than yours. To the nurse.
Nurse.
Oh, okay. We're doing one of these. I will say, though, for how strange this movie starts, I will say I do think they captured... This is something that does fucking scare me.
Oh, yeah.
As I get older.
Absolutely.
Because I'll tell you the scene that really fucked me up today. Was just watching him try to remember like the basic numbers. So like open the windows, close. He's trying to like read so he can go back to school. He's got that fucking like straw in his mouth.
Yep.
And it really captures in a pretty simple way. Like, oh my God, every single thing is just so much more involved and difficult.
Yeah.
But you're like, all right, this guy's like a hardcore guy. He's going to fight through it. When he comes in and finds his friend with the fucking bag over his head.
Yeah.
It's fucking brutally scary. And so that segment actually like really got me this time.
Yeah, the bag over the head beat was the scariest part of the movie, to be honest with you. That and the fact and the part where his mom walked out of the bathroom while he was getting a bath, and that just like wide shot of him in that swing, the bathing swing or whatever that is, where he's just sitting there. Those
There's
two
just
images
so much of that like we don't have to like even when
fucked
the
with
doctor's
me.
like,
Yeah.
I'm prescribing you a scotch. And he sees the girl kind of looking at him, and when they lock eyes, she whips around. So you're like, oh my God, everyone's just talking about him.
Yeah.
He has his scotch in a sippy cup. Like she has to, and I was like, imagine just not even being able to like grab a drink.
Yeah.
And it is one of those movies. Like this is not something that gets a lot of representation on screen. So it was one of those, you're like, God, it just, I don't have to spend a lot of time imagining that kind of stuff.
Right.
And I was like, okay, I'm feeling where the movie's going. The introduction of the monkey.
Well, can we start with
Into
the
the
friend
film.
Jeffrey? So Jeffrey, the
Yeah.
friend, is the scientist who basically is the one doing cocaine lines of brain tissue.
Yeah.
But first and
Just because
foremost,
he doesn't want to stay, if he doesn't sleep every 2 days, right? He lives like an extra.
yeah,
20
that's
years
like
when
so.
he-
It's a different serum he's taking to stay awake, which I'm assuming is just like it. Like 'cause it's red, so I assume it's just like melted airheads and cocaine inside a single serving.
Could be.
So
Could be.
like he's
Blood.
his like I love the scene where he's doing his math of like it's like basically by the time I'm 50, even if I die by the time I'm 50, I'll live till 65. I'm like, that's still pretty young to die, man. Good Lord.
Well, there's
Like-
also a quality over quantity argument to be had here, Jeffy.
Come on,
Every
bud.
time you leave the fucking
Hefe?
tube, you scare the normals. Yeah.
Yeah,
Your
you
fucking
walk
iridescent skin.
Yeah. You're walking around like the invisible man. My God,
Yeah.
sir.
You're busting your ass creating like groundbreaking science. You got a car that can't even close the door. You got no
Yeah.
fucking respect.
Real quality
yeah.
of life issue I have with
Bring it back.
Jeffy's with Jeffy's prognosis there. But yeah, the introduction of the monkey.
You feel like
is-
if Jeffrey gave himself one dose, which we do see later, but if Jeffrey just took like one dose, he'd be like, I got to make some changes, man. Like this isn't
Jeff
going
made-
my way.
If Jeff gave himself one dose, it would be the monkey Ella staring at him and be like, you see what you did to yourself? Are you looking at yourself right now? He'd be like,
Finally, motherfucker, can we talk? And he goes, I need help. Jeffy needs help. Let's go.
actually, it was funny. The other night I was watching Road Trip, and it'd be like that scene where that dude's smoking weed and talks to the dog. He's like, hey, have that bitch make me some blueberry pancakes. Like that's the scene we would have gotten if Jeffy had taken. I love how we're saying Jeffy like from Family Circus.
That's what you call little Jeffs, like kid Jeffs, and he lives like a child, right? We had a neighbor named Jeff, and it'd always be, Jeffy, time for snacky, bedtime. And so, yeah, I always think of like little kid Jeffs as that. And that's what I mean. This is a man who's living foolishly. I want to ask you a question.
Please.
Do you think Jeffrey honestly thought he was helping his friend?
No, not even
You think
close.
this was all the time experimentation?
Yeah. I mean,
When it
it's
goes south, we see Jeffrey being like, at the start, it was right. It was noble.
I mean,
It was after he got shook down by fucking Stephen Root, another amazing
yeah.
cast.
Oh, dude, yeah, for real. I mean, yeah, I mean, when you fuck up that bad, I guess you can convince yourself of anything. Like, but
But
come
I'm
on.
saying, just knowing this guy, he seems to be like a genuinely good friend to this guy, right?
No, he doesn't.
Well, at the start, like they had days, right? This is like a, hey, we'll always have Paris kind of thing. Paris just being like a shitty dorm room with boob posters all over it. What
Yeah,
I'm
I
saying
mean-
is, do you think there's any chance that little Jeffy, sleep-deprived, iridescent skin, was actually like in his mind like, this might work out?
No, I think the whole time he was like, I need the whole time he's like, I need to test this. The only way I'm going to get the funding, the only way I'm going to be able to do anything is if I test this. Here's a freebie. I'm going to
Yeah.
take it.
I do wonder what the intelligence test was that he was going to present to blow the... I think he was trying to hide Ella from Stephen Root's scalpel. So I'm with you.
probably.
I think he was probably mostly full of shit, and he saw an opportunity.
Absolutely. Like, there's no way. There's no other way to think about it. Like, come on. Like,
I wanted to give Jeff the benefit of the doubt.
There's no benefit of the doubt for Jeffy. He made his bed and then he got stabbed in it.
I'm saying,
you know?
though, one of the other kind of subplots of this movie that's absolutely horrifying is how once this man loses his agency, right? his ability to be in charge of himself and this and that, how absolutely fast everyone turns on him or just uses him for whatever, right?
Yeah.
So his fiance just immediately starts fucking the surgeon. Comes to the fucking hospital where he's in there to pick up Stanley Tucci, right?
To
the
be
nurse
fair,
just fucking constantly abusing him. The mom doing whatever the fuck. Him and the mom have some big fucking problems.
To be fair,
it would be a nice thought to think that little Jeffy was fucking the only guy that didn't do that. Because other than that, who in this movie did not betray him or use his body?
Melanie.
Did she?
I mean, okay, that's true. She did let him have mouth sex on her.
You think that was a funding issue? She was like, "This is gonna look great in a pamphlet." I'll tell you this: if you will sell more face sits than trained monkeys. That's a fact.
To be fair, listen, with the fiance situation, when the tooch gets loose, there's really no way around it. Like, that is what it is. All right.
I don't blame her for saying, "Hey,
look,
we get
the
one
tooch
life. I selfishly cannot do this. You cannot be fucking in the hospital where
the tooch has capuchin monkey like animal magnetism. It's impossible to pass up. There's just no way around it.
It is impressive because he's like a early male pattern baldness kind of guy, and he still always had that power.
Well, yeah, that's that really intense Italianness. Like, I have a lot of that Italianness is very strong.
Yeah. Gross.
This character really leaned into that. I have a lot of respect for the tooch.
Like, just 3 extra sprays of cologne on the Jersey Shore level of power. Is that what we're saying?
The fact that there was no pinky ring is shocking to me. That should have happened.
There was, but he only wears it during sex. No, I'm just kidding. This is my boning ring, eh? My grandpa used to fuck my grandma.
Oh, hey, listen, I got my spinal surgery, and then we'll go down to the shore. Hey, I'm really looking into this.
I don't blame her for getting out.
No, I don't either.
That's an enormous.
I do, but also you don't.
If this were me and Amy was like, because I know my wife would say, "I'll stay," and just give everything to you, and I'd say, you know what? Hire a nurse, come visit me, watch movies with me, go do whatever, right? Like, you don't have to if you don't want to. It's a big responsibility, man. So I do think there is some introspection, weirdly enough, from Monkey Shine about, well, no, okay, that's a lie. Everything I just said was an exact lie because there's really no introspection. It's just like, look at this whore trying to leave the man she's not married to, who probably was not the nicest guy before.
No, it seemed like there's a lot of douchebaggery going on, but
it's hard, though.
It's hard to tell because, like, that is a huge, obviously, massive life event. So,
yeah,
it's going to take some time to adjust. You can't be that mad at him for being, like, super upset. And
I don't think the movie gives her debate phase an adequate. This whole movie, I imagine, does not pass muster with the differently abled community.
No, not even close. I mean, there's no way.
I mean, it has the super ableist ending of, oh, thank God that nightmare's over. I'm fixed and can walk again. And it's like, oh, so you literally only put him in this scenario to do monkey shines on him.
Right.
Which is not a good look.
No.
Not a good look at all. For a tale that seems like a guy who's like figuring it out a little bit, adjusting, showing some perseverance, and then they just kind of fuck all that up at the end. But I don't know.
Here's my question.
Okay.
Do you think so? Once the monkey once Ella and Alan become real close, like
okay, so just before, because some people listen to these without watching the movie.
Oh yeah, okay, cool.
The thesis of this drug theorem is that he's going to inject this monkey. It's going to get super smart. What it actually seems to do is, yes, the monkey's super smart, but somehow gets a mind meld with our main guy.
Yeah. by like
who's not on the drug,
by
but
like
she,
intelligence and telekinetic osmosis somehow.
yeah, something, because when she runs through the night, it's like Avatar, right? It's like the prequel to Avatar.
Oh, that's a good way to put it. Yeah,
He fucking goes to sleep and he runs on the legs and
There's
knuckles
that
of a monkey.
real
right?
cool monkey vision thing.
Monkey vision, yeah. Hunter loved monkey vision, right?
Of course.
So we watch it run around. There's even scenes where he begins to manifest what look like the monkey teeth.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like he's got monkey fucking incisors and stuff.
Absolutely.
So I don't know what or how the science of this happens, but there is this melding of Ella and Mitch. Is it fucking Mitch?
What, the guy? No,
Yeah.
Alan. His name's
There
Alan.
is a melding here. Different fucking square guy name.
Yeah,
There is a melding of these two creatures. What did you make of the Ella Alan fucking Dr. Moreau like hybrid?
I mean, my all, I mean, how many movies have we seen where it's not this, like, this is sort of different, but how many movies have we seen really where people, like, all the worst things about them become manifested by, like, providence of something that's supposed to help them? It's a really interesting thing, and I feel like this comes up a lot in 80s horror particularly, is like this thing that's supposed to be helpful. This thing's supposed to not just move humanity forward, but give somebody a new lease on life, for instance. Always ends up being shitty. Like, and I don't want to say it's just the absolute power corrupts absolute. That just seems like such a lazy diagnosis for what that is. But like, if you think about the 80s and what was going on then, and especially like this was George Romero's first or second studio feature. Like, Romero always had his finger on the pulse as far as like societal norms, societal breakdown, those kinds of things. So like for me, it's almost this reflection of the 80s. Like, there's this level of like, of course, someone who is basically trapped inside themselves manifests this external, this ability to exert the energy that you can't exert when you're just stuck. So the monkey becomes instead it becomes much more animalistic, but it becomes this exertion of your fear, your anxiety, and all these things that really were like pertinent to 1980. It was the middle of the Cold War. It was the Reagan administration. People were broke. Like, it's a very specific thing.
I think it's that's like one of the three scary stories, right? As Stephen King broke down.
Yeah.
This is definitely a fear of science and technology, right?
Sure.
I think the movie kind of shoots itself in the foot because it's like, look at what these apes can do, right? And look at what science can do. And now we have a drug that's going to make this creature super smart.
Right.
But when you juxtapose whatever Ella becomes, you're like, still probably better than the nurse he had.
Yeah, she sucked. She was not good.
So you're kind of like, oh, look at these good, hardworking Americans are losing jobs that they're good at, and they won't kill you. And then you're like, that bird was going to kill that fucking guy.
I love how the nurse tried to blame, because she's like a live-in nurse essentially, and she tried to blame all the troubles on the monkey. I'm like, that is an animal, lady. Like, he like bitches at her about how dirty the whole place is.
He's really not nice to his nurse, but she seems really not nice to him. So
but
the scene that kind of breaks it, right? This is where we start to see Ella's transformation too. Is the nurse yells at him, right? Fuck you. You'll do what, right? Because she knows he can't do anything.
Yeah.
They're fighting at each other about Ella. She goes in the other room, and I'm just telling you for a fact, she released her bird with the kill word.
Absolutely did that.
The bird goes in and lands directly on his face and starts like pecking him and clawing him, right?
Yeah.
He's like, Marianne. She comes in, gets Humphrey Bogart, that's the bird's name, of course, off his face. He almost rolls out of the bed. She rips his PJ. She pulls him back, stares him dead in the eye, and just goes, God, give me the strength. And I was like, this sack of shit nurse.
Yeah.
Which
this is
leads
not the
Ella
nurse you need.
Yeah. So he's like, you get control of that bird or it's fucking dead. I'll kill it. And she's like, you'll do nothing, right? She does the Conor McGregor. You'll do fucking nothing.
Right.
So Ella gets out and does something, right? Fucking snaps this bird up and leaves it in her fucking slipper, right? So an extra level of deranged fuck you. Right. So I actually thought this was like a cool turnaround scene. But again, kind of undercutting the science is bad when that nurse is just so awful.
I mean, again, science is bad, yet sometimes there is a purpose for it. And fucking with that is a true monkey shine to fuck with your nurse in that regard.
Well,
so,
if
because it started with her putting
in this toxic fucking room, because this was my debate, right? Hunter was like getting all riled up. I'm like, what's up? And he's like, I'm fucking mad at this monkey. He's like, this monkey's fucking evil. And I was like, no. I was like, this is a classic tale, right? That is a monkey that was kidnapped from its habitat, right?
Yes.
Or raised in captivity, locked in a cage, right? This intelligent creature experimented on. They're fucking with it at a genetic level, right? Mutating it, stabbing it, doing whatever. And it finds this guy, and it finds, like, they have a really nice bond. There's that fucking moment where he's, like, overexerting himself, and Ella shuts the lights off, puts on a tape, and just hugs him. And I fucking felt that in my bones, like, as a dad, right? You're like, that moment when your kid just crawls on you because they just want nothing more in the world to just, like, be with you.
Yeah.
And it's something that, like, as adults, we rarely have, but kids lock into those moments. Like, I just need that spiritual transfer.
We had this, like, knockdown drag out tonight before we put him to bed with Henry, and same thing happened. Like, he got real cute, and he got real quiet. He hugged Andrea, and, like, I left the room because he was just, like, not having it with both of us. And then I went in to say goodnight to him, and it was the same thing. Like, he was just, like, he blew me a kiss, and I'm just like,
and that's what I'm saying, right? So I was trying to explain to Hunter, I'm like, that's not a monster. That's a creature that, you know, through all of this harsh reality found something. So the question in the movie is, does Ella unlock Alan's animalistic rage or vice versa? And I feel like it's the other way around. I feel like Alan is mad at the world. He's been this, I can outrun, destroy everything. He puts that into Ella too. He is injecting the monkey with his own law of, he does that whole thing, right? The law of the jungle. And I'm like, bitch, you put that in Ella. You're the one who said, I'm going to kill that fucking bird, and you couldn't, so Ella did it for you. When they do monkey vision, he's the one who shuts off, not the ape. And at the end, the nurse, you know, face writer tries to absolve him, right? Like, who did that? The monkey or you? The monkey. And it's like, well, yeah, now that you fucking set him out, put wanted posters everywhere.
I don't think there's...
But I was trying to explain to Hunter, I don't think Ella is a monster in the
not at all. She's the arbiter of the ill will that Alan feels towards the world. And I think that I mean, I don't think anybody can be under the assumption that it's Ella. It's all that
Ella. was my lawyer argument. I'm like, well, did you think King Kong was the bad guy and deserved to get shot off that building? He goes, no. I'm like, exact same fucking thing. Like, if you had just left Ella in the jungle, she'd have been cool, man. She'd have been living her lives, right? Doing
as Jack Nicholson said in The Departed, I don't want to be a product of my environment. Same thing.
Oh, my God. Fair enough. Like that thick-ass Southie accent. But no,
that's right.
I don't know. I like this journey of the movie, right? Watching the Ella and Alan descend. But I do find myself, I blame Alan a lot more, man. Because there's the scene, right? Like, obviously he goes and Ella lights Stanley Tucci and his ex-girlfriend on fire, like burns them alive in the house. That's pretty fucked up.
That was like such a weird sequence too, because you get this monkey vision. Maybe it's not, but like all the kills.
Yeah. Well, no, because first you get the like steamy like Walmart dime novel where they're like in towels and he's like, let's fuck. And that feels like what Alan's imagining in his rage. And then you get the monkey running up, breaking into the house. You see some feet and like coitus. And then all of a sudden it just goes straight black.
The coital feet are very intense. Like they're both orgasming at the same time for sure. Like it's impressive work. But again,
so
that's
you're saying
the
that their love is what burnt the house down, and Ella's innocent.
Oh no, Ella. Well, Ella didn't do it. That was it was Alan's will that forced Ella's hand.
Sure, but Ella struck the match, which is another thing where I'm like, that's a human. Like that, she's not going to strike a match. Neither here nor
Oh,
there,
yeah.
right? So this is when Alan, there's a shot in this movie that really fucked me up. When he goes, I think Ella did it. And she's making me more angry. Because he finds out that the doctor might have botched his surgery and there was something that, he just kind of missed.
It was basically like a
Seems
misdiagnosis,
reasonable
and there's a
enough.
chance he could walk again.
Yeah, it seems reasonable because you're like, oh, it's a car accident. All right, whatever. Like, just get it fixed. Don't get so fucking mad. But he does.
Right.
So he blames Ella. When he's like, take her, right? Get her out of here and don't bring her back. There's a shot where Ella like holds at the door and she's like, "Ree!"
Yeah.
And she looks at him and he's just like, don't bring her back. And I was like, oh my God, look at that fucking, like he betrayed this fucking ape instead of trying to teach this ape. Like the world doesn't need 2 more fucking philanderers, right? Like it'll be fine. Like they burned out. Their passion was so hot, it was bound to happen, right? They're just going to combust inside of each other like the end of a true blood death. It's fine.
For sure, of course.
Like move up, like teach this fucking creature, man. You did it. You fucking did it. The way he passes the buck really fucking bothers me. But I hated seeing Ella get betrayed. So then it does set up this thing at the end where it's like, you know what? Fuck every one of these humans. I was kind of rooting for Ella to take her revenge, man.
I guess I was. I mean, I was rooting for Ella to take her revenge on the Tooch for sure. I really was. I mean, we all knew the mom was
Jeffrey,
coming.
Stephen Root not getting got feels like a big... That scene when he's just like, let's just watch this rat drown. I'm like, Ella has to kill this fucking guy.
But hang on though. What you're talking about is something that is Ella's desire. This is a movie about Alan specifically. Yeah. Alan's desire is what drives Ella, so Stephen Root's death would be meaningless.
Yeah.
It would only be meaningful to Ella and her cohorts. We all knew the mom was going to get got at some point, and then Jeffy finally got his sleep permanently. But that was like the one. That was the one that I was, because that actor, I've only ever seen him in that show Episodes on Showtime, and it was much older. But his performance after she injects him with the I can't remember, it's like sodium barbital or whatever.
Poison,
yeah, basically poison. He's like, hey, bleeding enough to kick down King Kong. That like 2-minute chunk of him slowly dying, I was like, fuck, dude, this is like a little bit of a performance here. This is kind of the most engaged I've been in this guy.
This whole scene, right? Like he does, like Ella does that amazing like lightning jump into the house.
Awesome.
And he's like just screaming at his mother, right? Like, you're a shitty mom. You're a shitty fucking self-absorbed. The mom hits him.
And
there's a pause, and she's like, you know what? Good choice. I'm going to do that like 6 more fucking times. Just starts beating this fucking guy.
Beats him.
Then she gets got, and then he's like, I'll go soak about it. Ella throws a dryer in with her. Gets fucking Jeffrey after 8 times of him coming back, and Alice just like, dude, get help. Stay here.
God damn.
Just fucking insane. But yeah, it's kind of sad because Jeffrey, again, he's like, at the start, I wanted to help. You're like, no.
Nah, dude. It's too late. It's over.
And also, he probably killed all those other monkeys in the lab that were jumping his ass.
Oh, yeah.
When he tried to, like, psychically link with Ella.
Yeah, when he tries to mind meld with Ella and instead has, like, he, like, has that, you know, you, like, pee yourself because you're trying too hard. Yeah. It's like that scene. It's that scene from Rules of Attraction where James Vanderbeek takes a bunch of cold medicine and then wakes up having peed himself. That was the vibe. It's like, dude, this isn't gonna work. You're the worst scientist ever. This is gonna work.
So I think that's at the end of the movie. I say I'm kind of okay with this and this shot was fucking wild because Ella knocks the girlfriend down. She bashes her head on a desk.
Yep.
And the scene I kept laughing at is he's like, don't light that match. Don't. And Ella's just like, they have a fucking monkey hand just fucking poking this girl in the face with a match.
Great.
Like, why won't she burn? And he's like, it was you bitch. You're not afraid of fire. And I was like, that scene fucking cracked me up. But I got to say, yeah, because at the end, he's sitting there and he's just like, Ella gets up on him, right? And this is one of the things earlier in the movie. It's like, you can't have male apes because they're, you know, piddlers or whatever. They'll pee everywhere.
Yeah.
Drenchers, they call them. So Ella is mad that the girl won't light on fire, jumps up on his lap, and just fucking pisses on him, right?
Marks
this
her
is
territory.
after the super fucking weird candlelit dinner that Ella makes for him.
Yeah.
So he's obviously injecting some like other weird stuff into Ella's brain. So they have the weirdest candlelit dinner. And then, the girlfriend goes down. Ella gets up and pisses. He's just like, you slime. You filth. I'm going to take you apart. I'll rip your eyes out.
Yeah.
I'll rip your fucking chest out. Chew your fucking heart. Ah! And he's all fucking mad. But there's a scene, too, in there where the monkey has the, like, scalpel.
Mm-hmm.
Or whatever it is. And he can't.
No, it's the syringe.
The syringe. And Ella can't bring herself to. No, the straight razor. Can't bring herself to cut Alan.
Yeah.
Right? So there is this, like, extra layer of her love for this man. She can't bring herself. And he starts saying all this horrible shit to her. Right? Turns on the music with the voluntary action he needs to get his surgery. And I had to say, this is one of the wildest endings.
Dude, it blew my mind, man.
Watching Hunter's face as he grabs Ella by the back with his teeth and just like 40 times just ragdolls this creature.
Yeah.
With his bare fucking teeth. Law of the jungle.
It's one of the weirdest things I've ever seen committed to film. Like, you're just like, and it's weird
in
because
a movie that showed me so many, and again, this was 11-year-old Josh Griffey in the Midwest in the 90s, like early 90s. So not a lot of lenses to watch stories from, right?
Right.
This movie showed me a lot of weird shit at that age, and that was memorable.
But I guess what's weird is I should have seen it coming. I don't know if that sounds weird, but like I feel
you
like
know what I thought it was going to be? He was going to use his one voluntary motion to fucking windshield wiper his hand and throw her into like a fireplace.
That would have worked.
A death by fire, right?
I thought he was gonna run her over. I thought it was gonna be like a break her neck situation.
There was something because you kind of should have seen it come, right? He's like, well, I've got 5,000 years of civilized life bred into me, but there's an animal in there. There was something too personal about it. Like that is a personal murder, and honestly, I fucking was mad when I watched it this time.
Right.
Because I was I wanted Ella to just run away. Like, just
what was weird is I just felt really silly not knowing that was going to happen. Like, I felt like watching.
But did it not bother you watching him just fucking mangle Ella with his teeth?
Yeah, like I was hoping that. Okay, you bring up
honestly like bothered me. I sympathize with Ella. I know she just murdered like 6 people.
So you bring up the civilization line because I was thinking about this, and I thought what it would be was Ella adapting, like basically Alan forcing Ella to come to reason. Like if she has this level of human intelligence, essentially. Also, sorry, Jeffy's like, you could pass a college course. I'm like, hey, let's not get ahead of ourselves. All right, opening the door is very different than
also like I passed a
midterm.
Bunch of college courses, not that impressive.
I have a fucking college degree. It's not that difficult.
Yeah. Also, we saw Ella get one right in a law class, so maybe she's better than all of us. I don't know.
So I thought maybe the way it was going to end, and I don't remember the last time I watched this. I'd completely forgotten how this movie ended. I thought it was going to end more than likely with like a civility conversation, like something where she goes off into the night to be by herself. Like it's over. Like it's like a breakup. Almost. I'm
gonna run.
I thought that's where it was gonna go.
You'll have to live with this because you did it.
When it didn't happen, and he literally like ragdolls. I was like, that feels
maybe
like
at the end he's trying to take his first jog again. He looks up in the tree and there's Ella, and they give each other. They're like, that was pretty fucked up.
I don't know how you felt about it. I feel like
I was fucking
that
pissed.
whole scene's kind of a cop out, to be honest with you.
Not even a cop out. Like it's visually cool and it's
sure, but it just lacks the narrative cohesion that you want from an ending like that. Like
I don't know about that.
Getting the surgery to correct, like him getting the surgery to correct the misdiagnosis. Waste of time.
That sucks. And also, you're literally just using disability as a prop at that point.
Yeah,
that's a bad fucking look. I will say though, back to Alan biting Ella, I think it is just reinforcing this thing. Alan is a character that on a base level we want to sympathize with.
Right.
Because we all can understand, oh my God, what if that was taken away? And all of a sudden you had to change everything in your life. People look at you different, treat you different, right? Mm-hmm. These things that a lot of us just never have to deal with, right? We get it. So you want to relate with this guy. I think this guy fucking sucks.
Yeah.
And when he kills Ella, I was like, this is his way to, in his mind, be like, Monkey did it, not me.
Right. This
Not
is
me,
a way
Monkey
to
did
absolve
it.
himself of any like wrongdoing.
Yeah, I honestly was like, you know what? Fuck this guy. I was mad. At the
Absolutely.
end, I will say, the extra moment watching Hunter's face was magic when they start the surgery and Ella comes fucking flying out of the incision. I was like, it offers no value to the movie. Rad as fuck.
Absolutely.
So I just lied. It offers a huge amount of value. It's just rad. Not everything has to be for narrative. That was fucking cool.
I mean, honestly, it does not sit right with me that that's how that movie ended. Like, it's not. Okay.
I think hey, don't worry, you're better than being disabled.
Mm-hmm.
That's a bad look.
Yeah,
that's just something that now that we get to hear stories from people in that community more that I think we're aware of. I think this story would be told very differently now. But I will say I found it. I remember some of like the big hits, right? Like just the absurdity of a monkey killing people, right? The face it was like a seminal developmental moment for me. That whole sex scene, I'm fucking not kidding. That is one of the first sex scenes I ever saw in a movie.
Really?
Like
okay.
an all the way sex scene. That was one of the first, and it fucking blew my mind. Because you always thought sex was like the same thing, right? You always had this idea of what it was.
Right.
And that one had like, oh my God, they're doing different stuff, whatever. So I remember that kind of stuff. I think today, though, I wanted justice for Ella, man. Like, I don't feel like she's a monster because she offed some of those people. I think
agree.
Alan did it, and I think he literally skates away into his new life. And I think he's going to abuse the monkeys on that farm. I think he's a bad guy.
I agree.
I think he sucks.
I think he's a bad, bad, bad guy. Inappropriate. Not a great... For a movie that is outside every norm possible, the ending is so disappointing because the comeuppance is supposed to be for Alan, not for Ella.
Yeah.
That's the problem. That is the problem.
No civilized life in any human in this movie except for Melanie, the girlfriend. Seems like she's trying her best to make the world.
She's trying. She's
trying real hard.
She's trying. She gave him a face sit, and she's doing her thing.
I mean, she also like took him fishing, had a lot of like baguettes, which seems rude.
Look, she did what she had to do. All right, and she got herself off. I have respect for that.
I wanted her to find a better person.
I did too.
I wanted her to do better. I want her to trade up from this guy because he is mean to everyone around him, and he blames it on monkey teeth. Maybe Ella should have had human teeth. That's my theory.
Ella should have had
human teeth. Maybe he was the monster the whole time, and he was just running so fast we couldn't quite see it.
Yep.
That's my theory. I don't know. Just a fucking weird movie. But this is a classic example of amazing cover art. You're just like, whatever that is, I'll watch it. And then just a strange sojourn through the world of cinema. Again, I was maybe 10 or 11, and this was like way above my head at the time, right? Because I was like, it'll be a monkey, killer monkey. I get it. And then there's just a lot of extra emotional baggage in this film.
It is something else.
What else can you say? That's it for Monkey Shines. That's it for
what a great month.
Animals Attack the Pod month. It's been delightful. It's been really cool to go back to the source. Now that we're grizzled podcast vets, it's nice to go back. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as we did. Our next curation is going to be amazing. The Pod done it, right? It's movies where the characters obviously committed a crime and are trying to cover it up, get away with it. Yep. We know something that they want us not to know. So I know we're doing Thoroughbreds.
We're doing Thoroughbreds.
We're doing D'Oblique.
Yep.
We're doing She-Devil
She-Devil.
and Gone Girl.
Gone Girl, right? Yeah.
So quite the lineup for that. We have some double features in our future. September, it's going to be Alex's chance to have a birthday gift bonanza.
What?
Yeah,
I didn't
Neil
know that.
before Dandy, right? And I will
no.
yes and his ass, so be prepared for that. And then, October's looming, so great time to join the pod.
Yeah.
Great time to join the Patreon. Patreon.com/FilmAlchemistPod,
We'll have
guys.
to figure out something cool to do for all of you guys going in October.
Every
besides the
person who supports us means the world to us. So thank
We
you.
love
If
you
you
all.
can, we would appreciate it greatly. FilmAlchemistPod at Patreon.com/FilmAlchemistPod.
Yep.
FilmAlchemistPod at gmail.com is the email. If you don't have the ability to support Patreon, I get it, man. 5 stars, ratings and reviews are a great way to help out. Find us on your socials. Share us with your friends. Tell people you know about the show. There's a ton of great ways to help us out, and we appreciate all of them. Thank you for an amazing 4 years, guys. 4 more years from now, we'll be back to getting attacked by animals because we can't get enough of it. We will return to this, and thank you guys for the time over these 4 years, man. May the next 4 be equally as amazing. For the Film
Love
Alchemist,
you all.
I'm Josh Graffiti.
I'm Alex D&D.